I've got the perfect squad for this. Reddington. It's a go.
4th and West. We're on our way.
Hello?
He's on board. Winner?
In that case, I'm in.
So Dinkley, are you ready to do this?
You got a third squaddy over here that is ready to go.
Except Binder, can I get an ETA?
I'll see you now, yeah?
I know you're up to something big.
You don't even know the half of it. Brian, welcome to the winning team.
You mean the older team, right?
Yeah, you got that right, Mr. Right.
The winning team all in one place. Introducing the new DSTV Explorer Ultra, so you can explore more.
Yeah, ne? So it begins.
Yeah, Bender approaching for landing.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this year's DSTV Connect event. Apologies, everyone, in advance for being a few minutes late. As you heard, I was just waiting for our lovely captain to actually give me a call to also put me part of that advert that he just did. So my name is Thabang Makhai, and I'm your proud host of this prestigious event this morning. I'm also a key account manager responsible for one of the largest retailers in Africa. And now, I know that, guys, we met under different circumstances last year where there was no such thing as sanitizers. But bear in mind that now this is a safe environment indeed, because we've taken all the initiatives to make sure that you guys are at home and we're not going to meet in such large events or large gatherings, to make sure that every one of you guys is home and safe. And now, thank you everyone for gracing us with your presence. And I can guarantee you that today is going to be filled with jam-packed information to make sure that it propels your businesses and our businesses to greater heights. Now, I've got a few couple of ground rules or housekeeping rules of mine. Now, if you guys want to go to the bathroom, just walk down your passage, and on your left, make sure you pass that old grandmother picture on your right. That's where the bathroom is. And if you want to have a tea break, you're more than welcome to, but make sure that you don't touch that dial or miss out on the fun-packed information that you guys are going to be hearing today. And then there's going to be also a WhatsApp line which was included as part of your invitation, which you guys can utilize to make sure that you ask questions, of which you're going to have our Q&A session at a later stage. Now, in order for us to make sure that this day is so successful, we've got a jam-packed information session which will be valid for 90 minutes. And I know that we've taken a bit of your time, so please excuse us on that note. And I'm just going to run through the agenda of the day so that you guys familiarize yourself in terms of what's to come. Now, with the agenda, we're first going to start off with Justin, who's now going to take you guys through the strategy of the business and also give you guys a hint of the results that were published yesterday. And then straight after that, we're going to have Vivan, who's going to talk about all things product related. And then we're going to dive deeper into the main reasons why we're here. We're going to have our three main speakers, or as I would call them, my leaders in the organization, Bernard, Dudu, as well as Sharon, who will touch more into why we are here. As I said, they're going to be speaking about all the marketing elements that we have, the price points that we have, and some of the over and above and exciting things that are happening from a DSTV and a multi-choice perspective. And the first speaker that I'm about to introduce, I just want to give you guys a few interesting facts about Justin. Now, did you guys know that Justin's surname is synonymous with the Fast and Furious franchise, played by Jason Statham, aka Deckard Shaw? I bet you guys didn't put that together, but I'm definitely sure that Justin is actually getting royalties from that, and hence he can afford the luxurious lifestyle that he has today. Who knows? Maybe I want to be like him. He's also a lover of coffee, guys. I can tell you now, here's a little secret about Justin. If you give him a good cup of coffee on a daily basis, you are guaranteed to get exactly what you want, however you want it, and whenever you want it. He also loves traveling a lot and exploring different parts of the world. Now, I can tell you now that he has had a travel bug ever since lockdown began. He hasn't traveled that much. He's confined to his own space at home, and it does get a bit claustrophobic for him. But luckily, once the lockdown restrictions have been eased, and once we ensure that COVID-19 is eradicated 100%, definitely we're going to meet in Spain, in Dubai, in Portugal, wherever the wind blows. I bet that Justin is actually going to be there. Now, without further ado, I would like to welcome Justin.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Tabang. I'd like to remind you all to start with that this is our key account manager. This is not a paid-for piece of talent from Mnet or Supersport. So I'd like to keep him. So if those guys who buy from him, if you can give him some orders, please, it will be helpful to keep him in his role. In all seriousness, guys, it's my pleasure and privilege to be presenting to you this morning. It would be great if we could see you face to face. But in the times that we're in, this is what we have. I can tell you we're going to have a great day today because today is also Friday the 13th. And judging by the rest of the year, this is definitely going to be a great day because the rest of it's been pretty lousy in many respects. But not from a business point of view. For those of you who've been following the media, we did our half-year interim results yesterday, and really we have delivered a fantastic set of solid results, which we're extremely proud of for the first 6 months of the financial year. We grew subs growth by 600,000, profitability up 38% at 5.6 billion rand, and we are now in excess of 20 million subscribers across the continent. This puts us up along with all the big boys. You'll see that Canal Plus there are 20.4 million, and at this rate, I'm pretty confident that we'll probably exceed their subs by the end of this financial year. And for that, we really want to thank you, our dealers, who have been really, incredibly an important part of that success. This last 6 months operationally has been an incredibly difficult challenge, but yet we've had record subs growth over several of the months. So for that, I'd like to truly thank you, and also for your time this morning. You know, we've got a lot of stuff to share with you, and we'll really give you some great context to why we're heading where we're in, and I think you're going to find that interesting. So first of all, what's our business strategy at a very high level? Well, the first thing is our vision is to be the #1 video entertainment platform on the continent, and we're going to do this by being the leading provider in all markets that we operate in terms of market share, with a focus on delivering value both to our customers, partners, and shareholders. And we've got 3 key pillars to our strategy, and I want to take you through each of these for a few minutes, because they're really key to understand when people ask that question, how's MultiChoice going to compete against the likes of Netflix, who spend $11 billion a year on content? Well, first of all, we're going to go local. We know how to make local content. We make more local content per year than the BBC produces content at almost 3,800 hours. We know how to do it. We are making content across the continent. And it's important in the Africa context because African consumers love local stories. And in fact, watch more than 25% of what they watch is local content. So this is where we've got a competitive advantage, and it's an area where we're going to be putting a lot of investment. Secondly, the home of sports. Now, sports is, as we know, we're not a one-trick pony, but sports is something we're also incredibly proud of. We've added ESPN 1 and 2, and we really have the strongest sports lineup of any content provider globally, and we're really confident to say that. But it's not about just rebroadcasting the content and buying the rights. It's a lot more complicated than that. It's how do we tell the stories? How do we produce the content? How do we package it all together and market it? And you only have to look at Chasing the Sun to really get an idea how excellent MultiChoice is as a company, and particularly Supersport in doing that. And then we are now pivoting to a key part of our strategy, which is to operate a super aggregator platform. And this is how we keep our relevance across the continent. We don't have to fight with the big global content players. We embrace them, and we will help them monetize their content through the African continent, where we are embedded on the ground. So what's new? We've got a few new product developments I want to take you briefly through. We launched Showmax Pro this year. This is a Showmax SVOD service for the first time with live sport and live news channels. We have DSTV Communities. We have launched it with the Stockfells, where you'll be able to have a central account and get a discount and kickbacks from MultiChoice as a member of a Stockfell participating in the scheme. We then have DSTV Rewards. Again, for the first time in this company's history, we're now giving something back as we put a greater focus on retention. So just by doing what you do every day and signing up to rewards, you'll be able to get installation vouchers, free upgrades, and a whole lot of exciting incentives from our retention team. And the next one in the bottom corner, you'll see there's Ad Movies. We've also launched that this year. Now, Ad Movies is a big deal, really, because our customers have for a long time been asking how they can customize their content or have some more flexibility on how they choose their bouquets. And with Ad Movies, you can pay 99 Rand let's say you're on the family package, you can pay 99 Rand and get the top 3 premium movie channels added to your bouquet. We've already seen a tremendous uptake for this, and this is really the start of us starting to get a little bit more flexible on how we sell our content. Integration of online partners. Well, this is when you look at embracing third-party apps and other content providers like Netflix, the key thing is also to be able to take payment for those partners via your DSTV payment points. And this is a really key part of the strategy and something that we've already kicked off with the integration there. And then we have DSTV streaming. This is big news, guys. Yesterday we did a soft launch for DSTV streaming, which means for the first time in the company's history, you will be able to get a DSTV linear bouquet product, be it DSTV Premium or Compact, and be able to sign up without a satellite decoder. Now, what we've done is we've taken the DSTV Now product, which had all of the DSTV linear channels, depending what bouquet you're on, and we've made it available purely as a digital play. So if I take you through the sign-up journey, if you go to the DSTV website today, you will be able to actually select Get DSTV, and you'll have 2 options. You can either stream or go onto a decoder package. Now, if you're going to select stream, you will be able to sign up for DSTV Premium, 819 Rand a month, so it's not necessarily cheaper than the satellite bouquets, and you will be able to be viewing within 5 minutes after putting in a few details and signing up as a new customer. Once we are confident that the system is stabilized, we will go ahead with a full above-the-line launch. But we're really preparing ourselves for the future, where we have some customers who we could call nevers, people who've never had a satellite dish or cable, as they would say in America, and who just want to sign up digitally. And they may be in a living apartment where they don't have access to a satellite dish. So we've already seen some people sign on, and we're hoping this is going to provide growth. But the one message I want to leave with you this morning is that this is not a substitute approach to business to replace our satellite business. This is complementary to maximize our market share. And what we're going to take you through today, and you've already seen the commercial for the Explorer Ultra, is a key part of our thinking and strategy on and why a piece of hardware is still so relevant in our world. And let's go back to the super aggregator slide. You know, the truth is that as more options come about with the opportunity of OTT, the content owners are able to sell the content directly to their customers and viewers and form a direct relationship. But the fact is that it makes finding content a lot more complicated. You know, in America now, the average consumer or household has more than 4 or 5 OTT apps that they must subscribe to. That's 4 or 5 accounts, different user interfaces. Content is becoming more fragmented, and that creates complexity in our customers' lives. And already you see feedback like that, where audiences are tired of navigating through multiple services and interfaces to access their best content. So what we are really doing is we want to be the home for the world's best content, be it content produced by MultiChoice or any other third-party content generator. And we're going to do that by winning the battle for HDMI 1. Now, what is the battle for HDMI 1? You might ask yourself. A lot of you guys have been in the AV business for many years, and what we know is that when customers turn on their main TV in the lounge, they invariably go to whatever that input is on HDMI 1. And whatever that landing page and user interface is really the people that own the consumer's eyeballs and are able to direct and drive their business strategy. So we want our customers landing on the DSTV UI. And to do that, you need a piece of hardware. So be it a Sony PlayStation, an Xbox, Apple TV, all of these big technology companies are battling for HDMI 1. And this is why the Explorer Ultra is central to our strategy. It is our mission to get an Explorer Ultra into every single premium customer's home. And we have more than 1 million premium customers. So we're talking a lot of sales opportunities there. We want this product to be the primary entertainment hub for the consumer, where they connect it up to their home theater amp, they're turning their TV on HDMI 1, and they're accessing their content through this device. And what you get is the best of both worlds. You get the best of live and streaming. And you'll see all the DSTV content opportunities or options there. And then we have a world of third-party apps. And the one message I want to get across to you today is it's not that the one is better than the other. It's that there are different strengths when we look at satellite and streaming. And I think that's a key thing to understand, because people might say, well, why don't I just stream everything? Surely that's a better way of doing it. Surely that's the future. And we've looked at this and we've really got a balanced view of the world. And the truth is there are different strengths for satellite and there's different strengths for streaming. I'd like to take a bit of time just to take you through this. First of all, the Explorer Ultra is a 4-tuner, top-of-the-range set-top box, the most advanced we've ever launched. Vivan's going to take you through some of the detailed spec. But what is so strong about the satellite broadcast system? First of all, you must remember decoder is optimized for the linear viewing experience when it comes to channel surfing and finding basic bits of content information. You can watch one channel while searching the information plate for what else there is to watch. It's then best for live sport. Okay, the last thing you want is to be watching the Rugby World Cup final and to incur a bit of buffering or a bit of latency on a try that might win the match and you see it on WhatsApp before you actually see it live, which happens to this point. So the internet wasn't built for delivering live sport, and satellite, it is our recommendation, is still the strongest, most robust platform to watch live sport on, which is a key part of our content offering. Obviously, you have recording. There's no cost for delivery with satellite. Once that dish is up, there's no cost to receive that content, no matter how much you're watching. And then, of course, satellite is also a robust and reliable broadcast standard. Whether we're broadcasting to one person or 5 million people, and we're broadcasting the same content at the same time, doesn't really matter if they're watching all the same thing. Streaming, on the other hand, opens up a whole new world of opportunities. We know that it's best for transactional viewing. So what is transactional viewing? That is when someone makes a decision on what they want to watch. So we can call this SVOD, we can call this TVOD, but essentially anything like Showmax or Netflix is transactional viewing, where the consumer makes a conscious choice of what they want to watch. Now that comes with a lot of benefit, and people love having the choice, but we also do know that after a while you can become a bit jaded. You know what to watch. It can take you 10, 15 minutes to decide. And in fact, Netflix are already experimenting. If you log into Netflix now in South Africa, it gives you an option to just play something. And we've also heard that they're also experimenting with linear TV channels. So, you know, linear is not dead. Channel surfing's not dead. It's just a different type of way of finding new content and viewing your entertainment. What OTT does offer us is enriched content discovery, and that's something that, again, both Showmax and Netflix do a tremendous job with trailers that automatically roll as you're on a landing page. And then binge viewing. You know, The Crown will be launched this weekend. I think the Series 4, you know, already they're talking about on the radio that people are clearing their Sunday to watch those episodes back to back and have a marathon viewing session. That is best done on streaming, where you can get the full catalog of more than 3 or 4 episodes. A key thing about streaming, though, is you need uncapped broadband is recommended, where you're going to be using as much as 275 gigs a month on just for one TV. And that's a blend between about 70% HD and 30% standard definition. That's the average South African household watching 5.5 hours of linear TV per day. So if you're just going to stream all your TV, you're going to need a lot of data, and that's why we would recommend uncapped broadband. We then are also dependent on the internet service provider and the quality of the broadband and data they provide, and everything in between. So I've spent a bit of time telling you about that, but you know, where does that leave us with our overall product strategy? Are we going to kill the old Explorer? What's happening to HD decoder? And we've put the slide together, which is my last slide, just to take you through some of the product strategy. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to talk you through this, and we'll do that by segment. So let's look at our premium customer segment. And our theme here is really to drive the super aggregation strategy, whether it is the Explorer Ultra or in future the Streamer. And we have, you know, when a person buys a decoder, they don't go into your store on a Saturday morning and buy a decoder because they've got nothing else to do, without stating the obvious. They do it because they have to fulfill a need. And we have 2 types of customers in MultiChoice. We have what we call new enables. Those are new customers to the base that have never had a satellite dish. And we then have existing customers who can be divided into 2 categories, which we call both upgrades or add-ons. Now, the nuance here, an upgrade is a customer who maybe comes in with an old single view standard definition decoder and upgrades to an Explorer. That's an existing customer that doesn't bring us more revenue, but their behavior is more desirable. Maybe they pay an access fee. Then add-ons is very interesting. That is when you add an extra viewing environment in your home. It could be second view, it could be third view, or it could be your holiday home. So this is also behavior we want to drive. We want customers to have more devices, more TV sets hooked up to our ecosystem, that makes those customers more sticky. So what we want to take you through is our premium strategy. For new enables, we want to use the Explorer Ultra installed product variation, will be the focus there. For upgrades, we have as much as 70% of our premium base on Explorers currently. We want them to upgrade from an Explorer to an Ultra. And if they're adding a decoder to their viewing environment, an Explorer will do a great job. In our midsection of the market, which is primarily our compact customers, our focus here is catch-up. You know, catch-up is a bit of a play on words because we know about catch-up television, but more than 80% of our compact customers, which is a base of over 2.5 million customers, are still using a single view decoder. That means they have channel up, channel down, they have an 8-day program guide, and that's it. They don't know anything about catch-up, they have no personal recording, they don't know the benefits of trick play. So our job in the middle market, if you're servicing those clients, is to drive Explorers into there, and we're going to get bit more creative on how we can sell Explorers into that base. And you know, from a retention customer benefit point of view, we know that people are just much happier watching DSTV content on an Explorer, and for some strange reason, they tend to complain about repeats a little less. When it comes to upgrades, it will be the Explorer standalone, and for add-ons, we believe that a standalone HD decoder is perfect. And then finally, our mass market, and this is where we really had tremendous growth. And I think, you know, these three different segments that we're addressing and understanding the relevance of a set-top box in each segment will help you to understand why we are so bullish about the future of decoder sales over the next several years. Because in the mass market, we have more than 4 million households, TV households in South Africa, that are stuck with old analog televisions. The government's migration program has largely stalled. Their deadline to migrate everyone off these old analog free-to-air signals, I think, is in June, July next year. And the industry has still got an enormous role to play in trying to get these old analog televisions either upgraded to digital TVs or put some sort of set-top box in between so these people can keep these TV sets alive and their products relevant. What we're seeing is that we're getting a lot of growth, particularly over lockdown, as people are in their homes and they need entertainment. So we've had tremendous growth with what we believe are essentially people migrating, where they can get a solid picture, they can get the choice of satellite television, and the reliability of service that we offer. So we're going to continue to drive in the mass market, HD installed. For upgrades, we have more than 2 million customers who are still sitting on standard definition decoders. We want to get them on a high definition decoder as their minimum bar for their entertainment experience. And believe it or not, even at the cheapest end of our bouquet offering, all the way down to EasyView at 29 Rand a month, we have EasyView customers who pay 29 Rand a month, they pay 100 Rand access fee, and they own Explorers, and they have extra view. So we do also experience add-ons even in the mass market. So with that, I think I've said more than enough. I would like to use this opportunity to really thank my commercial sales team across the business. To say that in front of our dealers and partners, I really appreciate the fantastic job you guys have been doing over the last 6 months. It's probably been the busiest time in our careers, but I think we will look back fondly at what an incredibly productive and successful period this has been. With that, thank you very much.
Justin, that was indeed fruitful information. I mean, imagine a business existing without a strategy, guys. That business, for me, in my eyes personally, it is doomed to fail. Great insights to know where the business is heading, and as well as those interesting numbers that you shared with us, Justin. So thank you for that. Now, the next speaker I'm about to introduce, we're going to speak about all things product related. Now, his name is Vivan. Now, also, I'm going to give you guys interesting facts about Vivan that you might not know. And today, you'll be finding out, oh, this is the type of person that Vivan is. Cool. 1, did you know that Vivan's first job, guys, was actually being a cameraman when he did a documentary for the United Nations way, way back in the days? Bet you didn't know that, eh? He also loves cooking and baking. But Viv, I am yet to taste your food, and I'm hoping that once COVID-19 gets eradicated for good, I'm going to be the first one at your house, knocking early hours in the morning to make sure that you prepare that best meal that you always rave about. And then Vivan, you know what? He is a tech guy. He's humble. For me, he's like the Steve Jobs of MultiChoice in terms of a product offering perspective. So without further ado, Vivan, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Vivan.
Good morning, everybody. And thank you all for joining us in our very first DSTV Connect virtual event. So Justin has spent a fair amount of time taking you through our strategy and our new stance as a super aggregator. I'm going to go through how this plays out on our hardware, specifically on the Ultra. But before I go into the detail on the Ultra, I want to talk about a little bit of a recap, shall we say, on how our decoders have evolved over the years. So in 1996, we started with our very first set-top box that just supplied linear digital satellite TV to our customers. By the way, for those of you that didn't know, we were the first operator outside of the United States to get into digital satellite TV. Most of you will probably have a phone in your pocket that's 100 times faster than that first decoder. We then moved into the SDPVR space. This now gave our customers the functionality to record and pause live TV, and we upped the specs on that decoder to allow the customer to have this functionality. We then went into the HDPVR space. Again, we raised the specifications on the device because it needed to process this HD content. In 2013, that was a very big year for us because we launched the first Explorer. This device was huge, not because it was just the first of the Explorer platform, but it was physically a huge device. If most of you have it at home right now, you're probably looking at something that's that big. With that launch of that Explorer, it allowed us for the first time to mimic the delivery of content as one would do via the internet, pushed directly to the device. We also unlocked a TVOD, or transactional VOD service, via box office, all via the satellite platform. This was cutting edge for the time. We allowed the customer to connect directly to the box through the internet with the Wi-Fi connector. Some of you will remember that very first device that we had out there. It was about that big, and we used to call it the puck in the office. You'll notice that when we launched the Explorer in 2013, the price was $2,499. There have since been 2 iterations of the Explorer, and we've added new features to the device, but we were able to reduce the price of the Explorer, making the device more accessible to more customers. That brings us to the Ultra, 2020. So what's changed? Well, everything. That very first decoder that we launched in 1996 at a 100 megahertz processor on a single core chip. Ultra has a quad core chip, and it basically means there are 4 cores. Each one of these cores is running at 1.4 gigahertz. That makes the Ultra almost 400 times faster than our very first digital decoder, and 4 times faster than the current Explorer. So why all this power? Well, because there's a lot of new features on the Ultra. So let's start with 4K. So the Ultra is our very first decoder to support 4K. And what does that mean? So I'm going to talk a little bit about resolution now. So on your current full HD resolution, you get about 2 million pixels on a screen. So you get those 2 million pixels when you multiply the horizontal and the vertical pixels on that screen. 4K will take that resolution up to 8 million pixels, so effectively 4 times the current full HD resolution. So we needed a powerful chip to be able to do this processing. And then there's HDR. What is HDR? HDR stands for High Dynamic Range. This provides a greater contrast ratio. Contrast ratio is that gradient between the pure black color and a pure white color. This means that with HDR, you will now see more detail in the extremely dark or extremely bright scenes, and also experience an impressive improvement in color saturation. We're not only elevating the visual experience on the Ultra, but also that audio experience. And we're doing this with Dolby Atmos. So Dolby Atmos is the latest audio technology from Dolby Labs. It expands on an existing surround sound systems by adding height to your audio experience. This allows sounds to be interpreted as 3-dimensional objects. So how do I explain this? So if you're sitting in your home right now and you've got 2 channels, you're listening to audio or watching TV through the audio, it's coming directly on a very horizontal plane. What Dolby Atmos does is that it now gives you sound that comes from above you. So this creates a truly immersive auditory experience. With the correct audio equipment, and a lot of you guys sell this out there, which are these great sound bars, you'll feel like you're in the movie while watching in 4K. We're now the first pay TV operator on the continent to have a decoder with 4K and Dolby Atmos. Not only will the Explorer Ultra have 4K capability, Dolby Atmos support, built-in Wi-Fi, for the first time in the history of multi-choice. A decoder will give the customer the ability to stream content through applications from third-party providers, like Netflix and other subscription VOD services. This means that the box must be able to process not just the way we interpret live TV and catch-up and recording and box office, but it must now also be able to process the coding of these third-party apps. So what does all this technology boil down to for the customer? Well, price. If you were to take that decoder that we launched in 1996 and adjust it for inflation, it would cost around 20,000 rands today. And it only did one thing: linear digital TV. With the Ultra, we've added all these great new features that allow our customers to easily find and explore content across DSTV channels, as well as third-party streaming apps. Yet we're still able to keep the price to a reasonable $2,499 for the standalone units. Compared to what we launched in the original Explorer at 2013, this is an excellent price point for the feature set that is now available to the customer. With that in mind, let's do a side-by-side comparison of the Ultra compared to the current Explorer 3A. So I talked about the processor speed of the Ultra, but we also went a little bit further by upping the RAM from 1 gigabyte on the Ultra to 3 gigabytes on the Ultra. We've also upped the HDMI version to support those higher video resolutions on the Ultra. Then there's Wi-Fi connectivity. Connectivity on the Ultra is addressed with a built-in Wi-Fi, which is actually 2x2. And this basically means that the modem can transmit 2 data streams and receive 2 data streams simultaneously. This is 6 times faster than a 1x1 modem, which is for most part is an industry standard. This makes the device more robust and more reliable because there's 2 antennas. So if one of them drops off, the other one will pick up. This is essential for streaming, especially in 4K, because it cuts back on buffering. With all that technology, Ultra is the ultimate DSTV decoder that brings together the world of satellite broadcast and the world of streaming under our super aggregator strategy. So that's Ultra. So in August of this year, our corporate comms team held an event that highlighted 2 new devices. The first of them was the Ultra. The other was the DSTV Streamer. So the new DSTV Streamer delivers all the DSTV content customers love and hit shows from other third-party streaming services to their TVs. All they need is a reliable home internet connection. This device is a truly top-end OTT device. Like the Ultra, the Streamer supports 4K, Dolby Atmos, and HDR. The interesting thing about the Streamer is that you don't really need to be a DSTV subscriber to use the device. To use it, all you'll need is a Connect ID. Obviously, if you are a DSTV sub, you'll have access to more great content on the device, but a DSTV sub is not a prerequisite. So you're probably wondering, how is this device different from all the other OTT devices that we carry out there in our stores? I'd like to highlight that the device does not run on a native Android operating system. It runs on an OS called RDK. And the RDK platform is an operator standard environment that will give us the ability to control the applications that are available on the box. So this is very similar to what Apple does on the Apple TV and their App Store. And this has become industry standard practice with television operators globally. Sky in the UK, Comcast in the US are doing a similar thing with their OTT boxes. The use of this OS will allow us to curb pirated content in the box whilst maintaining a superior user interface on the device. So this is the user interface on the Streamer. The Streamer will be the first of DSTV devices to deploy what's called an HTML UI. Current UIs on our decoders, including the Explorer, use what's called a Java UI. Java and HTML are coding languages. Using an HTML UI means we can provide the customer with a rich user interface, which they are become very accustomed to using in the app world, on their phones, on their tablets. Going forward, this UI will be ported to the Explorer Ultra to ensure we have uniformity on the user interfaces on our decoders. So when will the Streamer launch? This has become a big question over time. Well, it's a very complex device, and part of this super aggregated strategy is that we have to work with third-party app providers. So the teams are busy working on ensuring that the device has all these amazing streaming apps out there on it for launch. And we're looking at being in market sometime middle next year. So that's the Streamer and the Ultra, the cornerstone hardware of our super aggregated strategy. Then there's the old standby, the DSTV Explorer. And yes, we are working on a new Explorer, which will be called the Explorer 3B. You're all familiar with these current versions of these decoders because you've helped us sell millions of these devices into the market, and we're very grateful for that. The major change with the Explorer, very similar to what we've done with the Ultra, is that we've removed the smart card. So it uses a technology called Cloak CA. Some of you are familiar with this already. So as of March next year, none of our new decoders will have smart cards. And we will also introduce a new A8 remote control. This remote is very similar to the A7, but more cost effective as we've removed the backlight. The new HD decoder will replace the current 6S decoder that's in market. And the current timeline for the launch on this device is sometime April of 2021. With the Explorer 3B, we're looking at launching sometime probably March or maybe even April next year also. So there you have it. A view of the hardware coming into market for the next couple of months, and more importantly, the role that they play in our super aggregated strategy. So I'll be back later to take your questions, but for now, I want to leave you with this.
Hello? Hello?
I didn't mean to scare you. Are you guys in the way?
Where are you? I'll come there right now.
Sharp, see you soon.
Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
I've got a big job for you.
What do you need me to do?
I need you to get here now.
Now you can join Netflix on the new DSTV Explorer Ultra, so you can explore more.
Exit. Hola.
So Viv, thank you so much for all that information that you shared regarding the product innovations that we have. I'm very much excited to know that all of our retail partners, especially that you guys at home and all our distributor partners, that these products are going to be in your spaces and you are going to be responsible for making sure that every single household in South Africa has access to these decoders. Now, you would have heard Vivan's accent. He is actually not American. He's actually Canadian. So that's another interesting fact about him. And now, we are at a portion of the presentation where we're going to be diving deeper into the main reasons why you guys are watching this at home. Now, before we dive deeper into the scheme of things, I just want to introduce our panels. First, I'm going to start with Bernard. I'm just going to give you guys a couple of interesting facts about Bernard. Did you guys know that Bernard is he's an athlete of note? He loves cycling as well. There isn't a competition in terms of cycling that he hasn't entered in South Africa, and I'm sure that he has finished all of them. I remember the last one that he did that I can recall is the 947 one. 94.7 kilometers this man did. What an amazing fitness level he has. Now, Bernard is actually well seasoned in terms of the finer things in life. I mean, just look at him. His demeanor says it all. The level of quality that he has, his persona, he's also charismatic. The fact that he carries himself with so much confidence speaks to what makes him the type of person that he is today. And he also loves traveling as well from that point of view. Now, the next speaker that I'm about to introduce as well, who's also in the same panel, is a lady by the name of Sharon. Now, Sharon, she loves her reds, and she grows all different sorts of plants in terms of food and veggies in her backyard. She's the type of person who's the life of the party. I mean, without Sharon, you can imagine this place would have been dull by now, huh? She brings out life, she brings out light. So that is in a nutshell about Sharon. And the next person I'm introducing as well, one of my favorite people to ever exist on earth, is Dudu. Did you guys know that Dudu is actually studying towards an MBA with one of the best prestigious business schools within the entire world? I would even add universe, if I'm allowed to even. She also loves playing golf, something to keep in mind of things, and she knows all those 18 holes that you guys refer to. She keeps the clubs clean every single time to make sure that whenever she's on the pitch, I'm telling you, she wins all day, every day. And she also loves finer things in life, especially whining and dining. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is your panel who will then take you guys through some of the exciting new stuff that we have from a DSTV perspective.
Wow. Good morning, everyone. I wish to put a disclaimer. I may have hired Tabang but I certainly did not pay him to say all those things about me. I hope you're all enjoying this broadcast. I know there's been some technical challenges, but we are working through that. And as you know, this broadcast is being recorded, so hopefully you can catch on that later on. We are in the last session to discuss the real stuff, what I believe really matters to most of you, the rands and cents. In studio with me is Sharon and Dudu, as you heard, to talk about our retail and marketing plans and what you can expect from DSTV in the coming weeks and months. We also have some exciting news on the sporting front to share with you. But first up, Sharon, let's really get to some serious business, as everybody wants to know when and where can they lay their hands on this decoder. When do we ship to trade, and how much can we expect to pay for this box?
Thank you, Bernard, and good morning to everyone. Firstly, we'll start shipping everything out today, the 13th, and product will be available on shelf to everyone from Monday onwards. And the pricing that we've put out there at the moment is 2499 on the standalone and fully installed at 3699. Now, we feel that pricing is very competitive considering that MultiChoice does subsidize most of their products. So we're trying to bring value out to our customers.
Excellent. That's great news, Sharon. You know, I actually expected to pay more, so I agree with you. Looking at that evolution, I really believe that it's great value.
Definitely.
Sharon, I see the Explorer has a very distinct packaging and a sleeve wraparound. What has inspired this packaging, and can you explain the role of the sleeve?
So this packaging has been very exciting for us because, as you know, like DSTV has a very blue CI, and we try to differentiate the Ultra from the other products that we've put out on shelf. So if you look at the start button on the Ultra, we used that as the logo and to create the overall look and feel for the box itself. And with the sleeve, we decided to go with a black finish, also to highlight the new streaming app that we will have available on the Ultra, so that as we progress in our different phases, we'll bring out different sleeves so that it's available to customers on shelf. Thank you.
That's great. Excellent. Dudu, now's your turn. You oversee the marketing, right? Your commercial, by the way, is fantastic. And I think Sia has just cemented his place as a megastar. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that, Bernard. We're very excited about the partnership.
So, Dudu, what more can we expect from this campaign? Can you perhaps talk us through some of your marketing plans for Explorer Ultra?
As you can see, the marketing collateral, we're investing behind strong out-of-home all around the country. We're taking some of the big sites all around the country in terms of out-of-home. You can see that the key visual looks amazing with some of our content. We're also going big on social with Spotify and Facebook in terms of our digital platforms. So that's really a snapshot of what we're going to be doing, which is really exciting. And if you go into CS Instagram page, you'll start to see how we start to converse with some of our customers, which is really exciting part of the campaign.
When does the campaign break, Dudu?
The campaign breaks in a couple of days. That's the 16th of November, which is Monday, which we're really excited about.
Great. Sharon, I'm sure you will agree with the marketing team has come up with a solid plan in terms of supporting the Explorer Ultra. But as you know, retail is about selling boxes and lots of them. So what other tools have you developed to aid retailers to be able to sell more decoders?
So firstly, we've created 2 different phases for point of sale. We've created point of sale that will support this launch period at the moment, which we've already shipped out to the regions and will be available in store as of Monday. And the phase 2 approach will be launch basically in January, because right now we know we're going through Black Friday, it's the festive period, so there's a lot of clutter in the market. So we thought we'd take a phased out approach so that, you know, we can give or supply the demand in retail at the moment.
Sharon, I see you've developed these beautiful units. Are they available now? And how do the retailers go about securing them?
So they will be available from January onwards. Faith and Tabang will actually contact the buyers and all our customers and see what their need is, and then we'll deploy that into market as per their need.
Great stuff. Dudu, you recently made some very bold moves in as far as football is concerned in South Africa. Tell us about Babiza Bonke.
Babiza Bonke is not just a tagline, but rather our clear intention to rally many more South Africans around local soccer. So the DSTV Premiership is the intersection where the best of local football meets the best of local entertainment. Babiza Bonke, bazobona senzani. Let's come together to again take South Africa football to the next level.
Wow. Dudu, that's really exciting. And do you have, are there some other marketing assets or assets or properties as a result of this sponsorship that we can look forward to, that perhaps we can partner with some of our retailers around?
So we've developed some amazing point of sale that's going to be going into the stores. We're going above the line with television. We're also going into all our social platforms.
Great. I believe, Dudu, that you have some breaking news in as far as international football is concerned. So what's the news? Please share with us.
Yes, Bernard. The big news is that SuperSport has renewed its broadcast contract with UEFA for a further 3 years. This includes all competitions across the entire broadcast territory of Sub-Saharan Africa in all distribution platforms. That includes TV, internet, and mobile. In addition, SuperSport has also extended the Premier League partnership for a further 3 years. The deal ensures that SuperSport will be an official broadcaster of the Premier League until 2025. Once again, this rights extends across the entire broadcast territory of Sub-Saharan Africa. That includes South Africa in all languages and throughout all distribution platforms. And that includes television, internet, and mobile. SuperSport has renewed its broadcast right with UEFA for the next 3 years. So for us, that's really, really exciting.
Wow. You know, I mean, recently you guys also launched 2 new ESPN channels. So really there is content galore in as far as football or sport is concerned for our viewers and our customers. So that's really great news. And I think that's the kind of thing that we need, because, I mean, the retailers, this will enable people to rush through to the stores and connect their DSTV decoders so that they can have all this content which is in abundance. Dudu, we're now wrapping up, but what more can we expect from DSTV in the near future? So maybe talk to us about some of the plans for Festive and any other exciting content, both local and international, that we can look forward to for next year.
So for us, Festive continue to be exciting. We continue to drive entertainment. And for us, we are launching Mzansi's biggest family campaign, which is going to be across the Midland Mass campaign. You've seen the Gomorrah Daily that launched earlier this year, which has become the single biggest soapy, which we're going to continue to drive during the festive season. And when you look ahead, you're going to also see the Love Island that's going to be on the premium segment, that's also going to be available for the premium customers. And Black Friday, which is coming up on the 19th for premium and compact, with all those offers that you can see there. So I'm sure you'll really be excited to see some of these campaigns come to life.
Wow. Guys, you heard it from Dudu and from Sharon. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us your lovely plans that you've put together. I'm confident that the launch will be a great success, and the work that you do goes a long way in helping us and the retailers achieve our objectives. I'm sure the end result will be lots of sales, lots of till rings, ka-ching. Right, just before we go, I also have some exciting news to share with you. And that is on the 18th of November, DSTV is launching our first flagship outlet in Polokwane. Why Polokwane? I hear some of you say. It's certainly one of the biggest markets for DSTV and has remained underserved for an extended period from a customer service point of view. The DSTV Customer Experience Center will be the first of its kind in South Africa. And I believe we're setting some global benchmarks as well. And this will allow us to create a customized experience for us to be able to tell our story and listen to our customers in this interactive environment. Our CEC will be located in the Mall of the North at the Pick and Pay entrance, which I think is the perfect location to drive feet into the store. Downstairs is the retail stores where customers will be able to interact with us, touch and feel our products, and they will be able to purchase products and services, to make payments, and so on. On the first floor is our customer service center, very much like the current service centers across the country, where customers will be able to make inquiries, perform swaps, make inquiries, and activate decoders, as I said. So please, when you next visit Limpopo, come visit us. We have a very nice coffee machine, and we cannot wait to share a cup with you. So guys, thank you. I think our job is done for now, and thank you for tuning in. Dudu and Sharon, let's go rule the world.
The next generation. 2 exciting new ways to enjoy the greatest shows on Earth. It's the next evolutionary leap for our flagship Explorer PVR decoder. A decoder that will forever change the way we watch television. The Explorer Ultra, bringing you the very best of the satellite world and the very best of the streaming world, all in one place. So you can catch all your DSTV favorites via satellite. Then connect your Explorer Ultra to the internet for even more choice from third-party streaming services. And with built-in Wi-Fi, it's totally hassle-free. No additional gadgets. A single remote control for all your entertainment, unified interface, and simplified billing for streaming apps makes world-class entertainment simpler than ever before. Just kick back and enjoy. The Explorer Ultra. It's the best of all worlds. And then there's the all-new DSTV Streamer. All your DSTV favorites, as well as hit shows from other streaming services, straight to your TV. No satellite dish needed. Hop straight to DSTV for some live sport. Then jump to Showmax for a little bit of drama. Or pop across to YouTube for a serving of pasta grannies. All your options right there, all in one place. Stream what you want, when you like, with a DSTV streamer. The next generation of DSTV is here. Make your choice and make it yours.
Amazing stuff that was presented by our panel, and I'm mostly excited to see what's actually going to happen from a retail perspective, as well as making sure that Ultra or any of our products are actually present in people's homes. Because as you heard in the beginning of our session, where Justin did mention that we want to be, in every people's homes, and that's the strategy, to make sure that we provide the best of local and international content. And you, viewers at home watching right now, we know that you're going to make it possible. With your support, we can take this business to even far greater heights. Now, guys, we know that we've had a bit of technical difficulties, but due to COVID, we're living in an era where technology, has its benefits and has its glitches. And this session will actually be made available. It's being recorded as we speak. So it's going to be available from 1 o'clock this afternoon. So if you have missed it, or any of your colleagues that you work with want to have access to what you've seen today, make sure that you tell them that it's going to be available on the same platform, on the same link that you guys received, to avoid anyone missing on such opportunity. Now, we've reached that section where we're going to talk about Q&A. These are some of the questions that you guys asked on the WhatsApp that I spoke about earlier on. And to not waste any further time, I'm just going to jump straight to the first question. Now, question 1 says, do you need installation for the Explorer Ultra? Takers, anyone?
Sure, that sounds like a technical question to me. So if you have a DSTV Smart LNB, it's pretty much a plug-and-play solution. Take out your old Explorer or your HD decoder and pop in your Ultra. However, if you don't have a DSTV Smart LNB, what we suggest is you get a Explorer with installation, which is 3699, as Bernard and Sharon and Judy talked about earlier.
Awesome. The next question says, do you need additional subscriptions for the streaming apps? Justin, care to elaborate?
Well,
on
let me try to take that one. So the answer is yes. We will allow the flexibility. For example, with Netflix, if you sign up, and you can sign up through the Explorer Ultra, you will be able to add the Netflix fee, whatever the applicable fee is, to your account, and it will be billed on your DSTV account. So those relationships remain. You're obviously using the hardware to access that same interface you would be used to on any of those third-party apps.
Cool. At least that clarifies that question, because a lot of people had an analogy in their minds to say, once you have Netflix and DSTV on the same platform, there's going to be a discount of some sort. So I'm glad you clarified that one. Will DSTV be broadcasting in 4K, Bevan?
So that's a very complex question. To broadcast in 4K means a lot of changes to the way we currently broadcast. That includes changes to our cameras, to our studios, to our head end. So at some point we will be, but not just now.
So important to highlight, when you get the Explorer Ultra, you will be able to stream in 4K. So those apps where 4K content is already available, you'll be able to get it in 4K, Dolby Atmos, HDR. So that is available. The device is what we're saying is 4K capable, just to give us that flexibility. But I think it's an inevitability that we will get 4K satellite broadcasts to take full advantage of that incredible bandwidth you have with satellite and free carriage.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now we've seen that some of the price points that were actually discussed in today's session, but the next question would be, will there be launch specials for Ultra?
Tabang, let me answer that. I think as we heard from Sharon earlier, we run a very subsidized model on our decoders, and we believe that the Ultra is priced right. There were some expectations that we possibly going to be launching at a much higher price. So what we want to do is we want to firstly get price stability in the marketplace, and then next year, once we start making engagements with our retail channels, then we will look at other ways that we can add value. But we believe that at the price of 2,499 for standalone, at 3,699 for installed product, it's the right price for this for this product, and we believe that it is really great value for our customers.
I fully agree with you. I mean, from a price point of 2,499, as you saw in the timeline of what Vivan presented, 5,999, guys, that's like 6,000 rand for a decoder back in 1996.
Yeah.
You can imagine with inflation how much that same decoder would cost you today. That's about 26 or 24,000 rand for just a simple decoder. And here we are coming up with Ultra to make sure that it is a very affordable product, and it is a very robust product, as you guys have seen. And it is a product that is inevitable to make sure that everyone in South Africa needs to have access to it. And hence, as I said, you as our viewers, or you as our partners, you're going to make sure that happens. We'll definitely support you, and vice versa. Now, when is the streamer expected to launch? Vivan?
Sure. So as I was talking about in my presentation, the streamer is a very complex device, and the teams are working day and night to make sure that all these other streaming apps that are out there are available on it when we do launch. And it requires a lot of work, not just from our teams, but from teams offshore and the teams that belong to these streaming apps, so the likes of YouTube and Amazon Prime and Hulu and whatnot. So as I was saying, it was probably going to be sometime middle of next year, 2021.
I'd like to add to that, Tabang.
Yes,
I think what we've learned is that this development of third-party apps and integration onto our hardware devices it requires a tremendous amount of heavy lifting. And I think this is one of the key USPs your salespeople can use to sell our product, be it the Ultra or the streamer, because multi-choice and DSTV won't put a product out there that we won't support in future. And I think there are far too many experiences out there with the consumers who bought first and second generation OTT devices, that work when they buy them, but the minute there are further software updates or certification required that they're no longer supported, we drive retail returns. I think the customer will have peace of mind when they buy either of our devices that what we put on the device will be supported for the lifespan, the usable lifespan of that piece of hardware. It's a very key sales feature, is that peace of mind our customers will have.
No, indeed, and I'm sure our partners as well are looking forward to the launch of Streamer to make sure that DSTV, is seen as a brand that is growing beyond satellite. Satellite is not going to die, but it's something that we make sure as a business that we become part of evolution and grow with the trends and actually be a trendsetter going forward. Now we've come to that end of our Q&A session, and personally, I would like to thank everyone at home. You've been patient and kind enough, and thank you for your efforts and thank you for your support. And I would like to hand over to Bernard, who will give you guys a few words of encouragement. Bernard, over to you.
Tabang, thank you, and you have indeed been a great host for us today. I wish to thank everyone for tuning in. We really value the time spent to connect with us. We do not take this for granted, especially at this period, busy period in your trading calendar. I also want to thank you for your ongoing support and partnership. It is highly valued. If you don't get an opportunity to connect again this year, may I use this moment to wish you and your families well over the festive season. Please continue to exercise all precautions and be safe out there. I also wish to thank the team behind the scenes that put together this virtual event. It's never easy, as you see, or as you saw, with these things, but you guys are a great team and you rock. Folks, onwards and upwards, and thank you. Bye-bye.
You want to take it from the top?
It's a new day, it's a new me. Better make way, I'ma break free.
I'm on my way.
I'm about to catch fire. Yeah, I'm about to catch fire. I'm about to set free.
Oh, my Gucci!
Oh, I'm amazing. I'm about to catch fire. Yeah, I'm about to catch fire. I'm about to set free. I'm about to set free. Stand back while I catch fire. Stand back while I catch fire. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do it.